All right, we've got another project. Well, I've already built the motor for this thing, but this is for my buddy Brennan. And I already built the motor. We're going to do a 0 to 60 test, and then we're going to pull the motor out of this thing. And like every other customer, he brought it to me with an empty tank of fuel. Thanks, Brennan. So just watch. I'm going to get to 55 miles an hour, and then it's going to cut out on me. But yeah, I've never done well, this is what we had before, and this is what we got now. So we're going to find out. Let's get the window up. Oh, no way. That's my buddy Joe. What's up, dude? All right. Joe Sandoval. He don't watch my stuff, but that's all right. All right, so we got a 5-speed manual in this bad boy. You guys ready for this? So I'm going to... If you can't see it, that's all right. I'm going to say go. 3, 2, 1, go. Stop. Oh, it's hot in here. All right. Not my Jeep, not my best work. I missed the 2-3 shift. So we're gonna head back and we're gonna give this another go. Yeah, I'm trying to convince my buddy Joe to fix up a fun car because, well, he needs a car personality. So he said he likes convertibles. What do you guys think? What should he build? Trying to find something to make him spend money on it. All right, I'm gonna do a rolling start because that's the hardest part. So rolling start in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, we nailed that. And stop. I think my first problem was I went to 4th before I got to 60. So if I were to sit down and really try to figure out his Jeep, we could do better. But you know what, Brennan? I like this thing. This thing rides pretty good. I'm used to a YJ with leaf springs. So we're gonna pull this into the shop and we're gonna yank the motor out. And well, first I'm gonna put, hey, what time did we get in this thing? And my brother puts his toolbox right in the way. All right. That's all she wrote. Let's yank this motor out. So we're gonna get ready to rip this motor out. And you know what? We got some oil. It's probably just the valve cover. But yeah, that's a good enough reason to rip out a motor. This thing has 160,000, 158,000 miles, something like that. So it's kind of like it's about to wear out in 20 or 30,000, so yeah, might as well. Brennan, you found a rock. Oh, and it looks like you either have a leaking pan because you smacked it hard enough, or rear main seal, one of the others. So yeah, looks like we have a second reason to yank this motor out. But everything else is looking good. So we're gonna start at the bottom, get transmission unbolted and everything that we can out of the bottom, and then we're gonna start doing the top. Well, we got the coolant draining out of the radiator, and now I really need to pee. So we got all the bolts off, and I got lucky. Got a little freeze plug up there. I was able to get that out. That one's a 5/16 square, so that takes a special drive. Usually I have to heat those up with a acetylene torch to get it, but yeah, you're gonna need one of these 5/16 to 3/8 adapter. That's one of those tools I bought and I thought I'll use it once in a while. No, I use it all the time. All these Jeeps have that, and a lot of small block Chevys have that on the oil galleys on the back. So, yeah, coolant is, well, mostly water. So check your coolant every once in a while. And there's nothing worse than Brennan. I don't know if you did this. Original bolts, annoying. You have to figure out what it is the hard way. So this is just what I hate about Jeeps. Jeeps are the worst in this. They use every single bolt size. You've got 18, 16. This should be a 14, but it's a 9/16 in this case, and this is a 13. So you have 4 different sizes, and then you have 2 different sizes on the starter bolts, and it's just all these random sizes. That's what I love. That's what happened with late 90s, early 2000s vehicles. They just used everything under the sun. That's one thing that new vehicles did get right, was, at least for Chevy, you've got 7. 11 for your connecting rod and drive line. You could use a 7/16 if you want. So we're just gonna say 7, 11, 13, 15, 19, 21, and 24. And you can take apart the whole vehicle, pretty much. Maybe there's some weird random stuff in there, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So we got that drained, and then we're gonna drain the side of the block. That makes it so that when I pull that motor out, I'm not gonna get coolant splashing all over the place. Kind of nice that way. Well, we've got this thing nearly buttoned up. We've got the new injectors in there. That's a 27-pound injector for the stroker system. And we've got all of his original accessories mounted and ready to go. This thing is just about ready to drop back in. This is something I've never done before. I've never once had a motor ready to go, and so this has just been nice. Pulling a motor out of the Jeep, putting it on this stand, getting the ready motor on the cherry picker, and then just start swapping parts over. That's kind of nice. I would definitely love doing it this way again. It's just nice. I pull a part off, I go wash it, clean it up, put it on, and do it over and over again. Kind of nice. As far as Flywheel, one thing I'm noticing about this Flywheel, at first I think, I don't need to surface that. That looks fantastic. that is not the case. And why is that? So it's got a good smooth surface. It's not burnt. It's got a few little spots there, but overall, this flywheel looks really good, but it does not feel really good. And I'm gonna move my microphone, and I'm gonna put it right here. Hopefully, we'll see if we can pick this up. You hear that? So there's little grooves. I'll put the microphone back on just a second. I don't know if you could hear it. We'll find out later. But there's little grooves inside there because this flywheel was machined, not ground. And what that's going to do is you've got little grooves in here and pretty deep. I can feel it with a fingernail. And it's pretty rough. So what that's going to do is that's going to cause your clutch plates to go like this and then snap back. So you're going to get clutch chatter on engagement, and it's going to do that as it goes around. And it's going to cause premature clutch wear. So we're going to surface this, and we've got a new clutch to put on there, because if you're doing this, you might as well put a new clutch in. It's not that much money. They're pretty cheap. So that's all I've got left to do, and then I'm going to clean the engine bay. I'm going to take it out and get that washed up. So we've got a clean space to work in. So this has been an, let me think, 5-hour process so far, maybe a little bit more. It's a lot of work. So yeah, getting everything swapped over, it's a lot, but it's a heck of a lot easier now that I have one motor ready to go and one motor coming apart. So we got the motor in the Jeep and looking all right. I already did a first startup, just to make sure everything's good. All the cylinders work. It sounds all right. Got the oil pressure, and now I'm starting to work on putting belts and radiator, all that good stuff in. We're gonna put some water in, and we're gonna go. Well, we're gonna do a little break-in test, and then if that's all good, then we're gonna go for a test drive. Well, there we go. It sounds fantastic. Idling nice. We got just water in there. I think I got a little bit of an exhaust leak right out of the header. So we're gonna hold it at 1500 for a little bit. We got 60 pounds of oil pressure. So we got water in there. I bled the system. So we're gonna run this for a bit, 1500 or so. But yeah, a little bit of exhaust leak, I think. That'll make it not quite run right. But no check engine light, so that's kind of cool. And so I put about 2 gallons of fuel in it. The fuel light's still on, so probably wouldn't even made it out of the shop. Yeah. That's sounding pretty smooth. Yeah, we're gonna have a little bit of a leak there. Yeah, there we go. That's sounding pretty good. So we're gonna get things buttoned up, and then we'll take this for a test drive. Put a little bit more fuel in it. But yeah, we're just gonna put some more RPM in for a bit. So that's it for this right now. All right, we be driving. No check engine lights. This is kind of cool. We have a nasty exhaust leak, so I'll get that figured out in a bit. I'm just gonna get it driven around. So, running good. I'm not going hard. Just taking it easy. Got break-in oil in it. Oil pressure's sitting at 50 psi. Engine temperature's 210. We put 195 degree thermostat in there. I like 195. It gets the engine oil warmer, makes your oil last longer, keeps the contaminants out, keeps the water out. I know 160 makes the most power, 180 is a good in between, but we're looking for reliability and longevity. So I think 195 is a good temperature. So we're just cruising around. But yeah, it's running good. So as long as I don't put too much foot in it, it doesn't really leak on the exhaust. So we've got around 30, 45 minutes on this oil, and so we drove it around for a while. So we're gonna drain. We have break-in oil in here, which is a high zinc blend to make your ring seat, and it's better for the camshaft, all of that good stuff. So we're gonna get this drained, and when that's done, I'll show you all the glitter that's gonna be inside there. There, now it's pouring. We can see all the good glitter inside there. Kind of cool.
Where's the disco music?
We need, and what is that?
You should add that in. Right when I say where's the disco music, just start playing a song or something.
Like Sandstorm? So we got our oil here. We got nice sparkles going on. So yeah, this is just shaving down the cylinder walls, kind of getting the rings to seat into the cylinder really well, and get that compression a little bit earlier. So I like to run this stuff for about 30 to 45 minutes. I wouldn't go any more than an hour. I know AMSOIL on their bottles will say 1,000 miles. I wouldn't do that. Absolutely not. I wouldn't do over 100 because it does chew things up. So that's just the big thing here is getting your rings to seat. And then I just use the cheapest O'Reilly's $3 oil filter for that. I'm not running it long. And then I'll put in a non-synthetic oil with a better filter. Run that for 1,000 miles. And then that'll complete the break-ins. That'll season the block, and then I'll do a full synthetic, a good $10, $15 filter, and then run that for 5 or 6, and then move on to doing your normal engine oil cycles. All right, we are in the Jeep, and I got traffic coming, so we're not gonna go quite yet, but let's do a new 0 to 60 time. We've got fresh, new, conventional oil. All right, so let's get our rolling start. 0 to 60. We're at operating temperature. You want to get heat in these pistons before you do anything. So here's going to be our rolling start 0 to 60, or 5 to 60 really. And 3, 2, 1, go. And stop. I'm gonna go back and look at the footage and get an actual time on that. That'll be a little bit better. And we'll do, which that felt really fast. I know yesterday I was hammering, not really hammering it, kind of still breaking it in so I didn't hit it hard, and it was a second and a half better yesterday. But we're going to see what it was, because that felt really fast. All right, here we go. And this is going to be a stopped time in 3, 2, 1, go. And stop. Now, what I will say about this, I've only done 2 engine swaps, meaning pull the motor out, rebuild it, put it back in on these Jeeps. And what I will say is, because every Jeep is different, you got different tires, you got all sorts of different things. But in this case, I really did notice a difference. And the biggest difference is smoothness of power and a lot more torque. I feel a bigger hit at the bottom because we got 2 pounds lighter in pistons, and that makes a big difference on the bottom. And then that extra, I don't know, what is that, 1/4 of an inch stroke or 3/8 or something like that. I don't know, can't remember the number on the top of my head. That's going to add a lot more torque. That's going to be that bottom end power there. So what I will say is I notice a big difference in the smooth power delivery on the bottom. So when I let out that clutch and I'm going, I do notice it's smoother. It feels better. It's easier to control, because that, and I know the Jeep a little bit more because it's not my Jeep, but it was a little bit shaky when I first drove it. Things weren't smooth. And that could also be because the flywheel was it was machined, not ground. I think that can have a little bit to do with it. Not a ton, but a little bit. So I just feel like the 4.6 with the lighter pistons, the longer stroke, those kinds of things, it's just a smoother bottom end torque. And also the camshaft adds a little bit to it as well, with that little extra duration of like 8 or 10 degrees or something like that. I think that has a lot to do with that low end torque curve. So those are just my thoughts here. So I'm gonna head back to the shop and I'm gonna watch the footage, and I don't know, I'll do a little phone timing on there and kind of see, to give you an idea of what we're looking at. I mean, if you really want, you go for it. Correct me in the comments. I don't want to take the time for that, but if you want to set times and correct me in the comments on that 0 to 60 times, and there goes my camera, feel free to do so. Okay, we got our official numbers, and official-ish, me just going through the footage with the stopwatch and seeing, we had like 10.5 seconds to from rolling to 60, so at 5-ish miles an hour, and it was like right at 11 seconds, the 0 to 60. That's telling me that we're knocking off like two whole seconds off of our off our roll to 60, and almost 4 seconds. So I think it was about 15 before. We knocked off almost 4 seconds on our 0 to 60. And that big difference there, I think that's because of the smoothness of power, the lighter pistons, that grinding the flywheel makes a difference. Just all of it, the torque, all of it makes a huge difference. So yeah, your roll to 60 is 2 seconds faster. That's a big deal. That's a lot more power. So it just feels all around better. It hooks up better. So there we go. That's our finished project. And I am very happy with how this one turned out. It looks good. It feels good. It's fast. And yeah, there you go, Brennan. You've got an awesome Jeep, and have fun with it. And yeah, thanks for watching this one. And well, we'll catch you on the next one on Engine Chronicles. See you guys later.